my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the
Everybody
procedure,
stay calm.
everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Wait.
Everybody calm down!
So, are we really about to see Ghost of Tsushima riding shotgun on an Xbox dashboard next to Halo? Short answer, not anytime soon. Long answer, grab a coffee and let's dig in. First, that eye-catching job ad. Sony is hunting for a senior director to shape and execute the global commercial strategy for PlayStation Studios titles across all digital platforms, including Steam, Epic, Xbox, Nintendo, and mobile. Sounds seismic, right? But notice the wording. It's all about strategy, profitability, and partner management. HR speak, sure, yet it signals a plan to coordinate whatever multi-platform moves Sony was already flirting with. Not burn the house down and move out. Look at what Sony has actually done so far. MLB. The show has lived on Xbox and even Game Pass since 21, thanks to a licensing deal with Major League Baseball that forced Sony's hand. More recently, Helldivers 2, a live service shooter, is dropping on Series XS this August under Sony's own publishing label. These choices tell us something. Sony is willing to ship service-driven or externally licensed titles where the bigger player pool means steadier cash. They are not handing over God of War Ragnarok day and date. Sony's leadership has even said as much. Herman Holst explained last year that live service games could hit PC on day one, while single-player blockbusters would still enjoy a console-first moment to lure folks into owning a PlayStation. Swap PC for Xbox and the logic holds. Keep the tentpole narratives close to the hardware chest, where PlayStation's brand, DualSense tricks, and network effects shine. So why mention Xbox and Nintendo at all in this listing? Two big reasons. One, optics. Investors love growth stories. Writing Xbox on a job post screams total addressable market without promising anything concrete. It's corporate catnip. Two, leverage. When Sony negotiates marketing slots, crossplay terms, or revenue splits, it helps to have a dedicated team that speaks the language of every storefront, not just Steam, and can pit platforms against each other for better promo banners and seasonal deals. Think of it like expanding a food truck route. You don't announce that every secret recipe is now free at every stop. You hire a logistics boss to plan which neighborhoods get tacos, which get burritos, and how often you park there so your flagship restaurant downtown still stays packed. Add to that the rising cost of AAA development. A modern blockbuster can need 15 million sales to break even. Hitting that number on a single console is getting harder as install base growth slows. Reselling older exclusives on new storefronts years later is almost free money. That cash funds sequel, which, surprise, still launch first on PlayStation. Could the strategy creep wider? Absolutely. Live service push? Check. Crossplay expectations? Check. Helldivers 2's Xbox launch is basically a proof of concept. If it prints dollars without cannibalizing PS5 hardware, expect similar online-heavy releases, fair game, maybe even marathon, to follow. But Spider-Man 2, the week it drops on PS6, don't bet the farm. Sony's marketing still revolves around character-driven epics that showcase proprietary tech like haptic triggers. Those games sell consoles, accessories, and PS Plus subs. Giving that away on rival hardware undermines the whole ecosystem. In other words, the door is cracked, not kicked open. That new senior director will decide how wide it swings, but the hinges are still bolted to a console-first business. Bottom line? No, PlayStation isn't about to dump its whole catalog onto Xbox because of one LinkedIn post. This is Sony hiring a traffic controller for a road it already started paving. Expect strategic ports, smarter partner deals, and way more chatter. But keep your Kratos on Game Pass fantasies in check, at least for now. Here are the biggest gaming leaks and news you've probably missed this week. Sony's making some subtle but important changes in the PlayStation ecosystem, and if you read between the lines, it's all pointing to a new generation of portable PlayStation hardware. The latest PS5 system software update quietly introduces two key features: multi-device DualSense pairing and a new power saver mode. The first feature, letting your DualSense controller pair with multiple devices at once, sounds like a simple quality of life boost. But if you look closer, it's also clear groundwork for new hardware. This type of cross-device pairing makes perfect sense if Sony is planning a portable device that isn't just another streaming box, but can actually play PS5-level games locally. With the new pairing method, it's now seamless to jump between a PS5 and whatever portable might be coming next using the same controller. The second feature is Power Saver mode. It gives players and developers the option to reduce a game's performance in exchange for lower power usage. While optional, this is the exact kind of feature you'd expect to see if Sony is prepping a handheld that can run demanding games, just at lower settings to preserve battery life. Recent rumors point to Sony's new device landing somewhere between the PS5 and Xbox Series S in terms of performance, using strategies like downscaling resolution and limiting frame rates. What's interesting is Sony's approach compared to Microsoft's. Instead of forcing all developers to design for a weaker handheld, like with Xbox Series S, Power Saver mode is completely optional, meaning devs can choose if and how they support it, without impacting the flagship PS5 or the upcoming PS5 Pro. It's a flexible system that gives studios more freedom, instead of mandating restrictions across the whole platform. All of this points to a bigger strategy. Sony is quietly building out an ecosystem where your games, controllers, and experiences follow you, whether you're at home or on the go. These updates aren't just random features. They're the first visible signs of a major shift. If the leaks and industry reports are right, Sony's new handheld is closer than people think, and these firmware changes are setting the stage for its launch. So, while it might look like just another system update, the reality is Sony is moving the pieces into place for a much bigger play. The next time you see a new PS5 feature pop up, it might actually be about something you'll be able to take with you anywhere. All right, buckle up, because Mind's Eye just dropped another update, and it's exactly what you think. So the studio posts this big July update letter. All, dear community, thanks for your support. Your feedback shapes the game, blah blah. And right away, I'm thinking, are they trolling? So they flex about 3 updates since launch. Bugs fixed, performance improvements, yada yada. Hope you're seeing the changes. I mean, cool, but let's not pretend this is a comeback tour. Like, I'm glad they've finally made the game playable, but here's the kicker. They're missing the point. There's a difference between a broken game and a boring game. You could fix every bug, polish every edge, and you'd still be left with this 12-hour plot hole-filled game where you can't even jack a car. The story's alright, the graphics are solid, but the actual game, about as exciting as a PowerPoint presentation. None of these patches make me want to play again. No extra value, no reason to revisit. It's just there. Here's what they should do. Just admit this was a massive L. Write off the single player, bite the bullet, and actually build something worth coming back for. Like, I don't know, an online mode where you and your buddies can do more than walk around looking at pretty scenery. Let us customize our character. Let us actually drive other vehicles, please. PC players have more options, but console folks, nada. They should be focusing on that instead of playing patch note bingo. But wait, it gets dumber. That Hitman X Mind's Eye collab that everyone was hyped for, delayed. No date, no info, just we'll get to it when we get to it. Probably because the dev team's been Thanos snap. Update 4 is coming in August, and wow, they're finally adding skippable cutscenes. 2 months to add a skip button? What, did they have to code it in ancient Sumerian? Press X to skip. It's not rocket science. Same with entering cars. I'll do it for free. Well, actually, you can't afford me. There's this new published player content feature for PC, but console players once again get to sit in the corner. Update 5 drops in September. More performance improvements. Who cares? This game could run at 1,000,000 frames per second. It'd still be boring. Honestly, these updates are just PR window dressing for investors. Nobody's reading these patch notes and getting hyped. Just give us an actual game. Red Rock is cool. The world is cool. Do something with it. Add an online mode. Let us mess around. Stop bragging about another frame in a cutscene. Ubisoft just revealed their summer roadmap, and it's packed. The big July 29th update is about to hit, and they're raising the level cap from 60 to 80. So if you already maxed out, you've got a lot more grinding to do. There's also new knowledge ranks, new mastery, and knowledge skills, and even more upgrades for your hideout, like Heiji's Forge. Plus, New Game Plus is finally dropping. Once you finish the final story mission, you can start over and keep your level, gear, skills, and hideout progression. All your discovered locations and story stuff resets, but the core grind stays. Also, Project 3 goes live with new resources, data files, and those exclusive Animus-themed rewards if you're collecting everything. After that, there's another quality of life update coming in early September. Things like the world map unfogging after you sync a viewpoint, skipping ahead in time of day, more upgrades for your gear, and an uncapped frame rate for cutscenes on PC, plus more bug fixes and a few extras for longtime fans. And I don't care anymore. Assassin's Creed Shadows isn't just another letdown for me. This one actually hurts. Not in that I played a bad game way. There are bad games every year and you just move on. But in that way, where you want to love it, you hype it up, you defend it, and then it turns around and drains the life out of you, one underwhelming quest at a time. I stuck my neck out for Shadows. Through the Yasuke discourse and all the pre-launch nonsense, I was in the trenches, telling people to chill, telling them to just wait, give it a chance. I paid full price on day one, gave it a glowing first impression, not because I had to, but because I believed it was going to get better. That's the most disappointing part. It doesn't get better. The deeper you go, the more it just chips away at your hope, until all that's left is resignation. I'm 40 hours deep, and the truth is, I couldn't summarize the story if you paid me. There are faces and names and betrayals and drama, but none of it lands. It's like the writers just filled a bingo card of feudal Japan tropes, mixed in some generic revenge, and called it a day. Even now, I have no idea what I'm actually fighting for. I keep forgetting who's important and why. I'm just moving from one objective marker to the next, hoping the next cutscene might finally hook me. Spoiler, it doesn't. It's almost existential. Like, why am I doing this to myself? Why am I grinding through another generic bandit camp, looting another forgettable chest, climbing another tower just to reveal more map clutter? Life feels too short to be bored by a video game. But here I am, bored out of my mind by a franchise I used to love. And it is beautiful. That's what makes it worse. The world is absolutely jaw-dropping in places. Sunsets over temples, snowy mountaintops, neon-lit festival nights. There's so much visual craft, so much art direction. And for a few minutes, you forget how empty it feels underneath. It's like buying a gorgeous sports car and realizing the engine's just missing. You can look at it all you want, you just don't feel anything. They made two main characters, and on paper, that's supposed to be the big innovation, but it just pulls the game in opposite directions. Now he plays how I want Assassin's Creed to play, stealthy, slick, classic assassin moves. Yasuke's fun when you want to go full beast mode, but most of the time, he feels like a bouncer at an anime convention. He's strong, but half the fun stuff in the world, climbing, sneaking, parkour, he just can't do. It's like the devs committed to their vision so hard, they forgot to ask if it's actually fun for the player. Progression becomes a job. Want to unlock new skills? Time to go on a scavenger hunt for random collectibles and pray at some shrines over and over and over. You start realizing the game is just a series of chausseurs. There's no real tension, no sense of purpose. Even combat, for all its flashy decapitations, gets stale. You fight, you win, you move on. Repeat until numb. And look, I wanted to see Japan in Assassin's Creed for years. Everyone did. Ubisoft nailed the world, but the soul, that's MIA. When you have a cast this forgettable and dialogue this wooden, all the technical achievements in the world can't save you. The best moments, the ones that actually feel like Assassin's Creed, are just lost in a sea of meh. It broke me because I wanted to care. I wanted to be the person who finished this game, made a deep dive video, and told you all it was worth it. But right now, I can't even fake it. Every time I boot it up, I get hit with this mix of boredom and guilt. Like I owe it to my past self to see it through. But deep down, I know I'm just wasting time. So if you're burned out on modern Assassin's Creed, I feel you. Shadows is technically impressive, sure. But if you're looking for meaning, for something to stick with you after the credits roll, you might want to look elsewhere. For me, this was the game that finally made me ask, why am I still doing this? And I still don't have an answer. But hey, maybe it's just me. I want to hear from you guys. Seriously, did Assassin's Creed Shadows burn you out too? Or are you actually having a good time with it? What hooked you? What drove you nuts? Are you vibing with the story and the characters? Or are you just running through the motions like I ended up doing? Drop your thoughts down below. Tell me what you actually liked about Shadows and what just didn't work for you. Are you as lost in the story as I am, or did something finally click? Where were you when Mortal Kombat 1 was officially dropped? After the lukewarm reception to its Chaos Reigns expansion, Warner Brothers and NetherRealm quietly canceled the rumored second story expansion and scrapped Combat Pack 3. Mortal Kombat 1 barely made it 2 years before before the studio moved on. For longtime fans, it's a letdown, especially when you look back at the heights of Mortal Kombat 11. Back in 2019, Mortal Kombat 11 set the bar high. The story pushed the series in a new direction, introducing Kronika, a titan with power over time, forcing heroes and villains from across the timeline to work together or clash. Past and present versions of characters met, leading to big moments like Liu Kang and Raiden finally settling their differences, Kitana reaching her potential, and fan favorites like Scorpion and Sub-Zero teaming up against the cyber Lin Kuei. Even with a divisive final boss fight, Mortal Kombat 11 felt like the payoff of years of storytelling. Gameplay-wise, Mortal Kombat 11 had its issues. A lot of grinding in the Towers of Time and Crypt, which was eventually balanced out, and a robust set of unlockables and secrets. The combat featured mechanics like fatal blows and crushing blows, which added new layers of strategy. While some disliked the slower pace and the new breakaway system, overall, it provided deep, rewarding gameplay. The custom variation system let players tweak characters' move sets, improving on the more restrictive gear system of Injustice 2. Mortal Kombat 1 made some bold changes. The core fighting mechanics are solid, with a better balance between speed and combo potential, and the addition of cameo fighters brought new dynamics. However, not everyone was sold. Cameos were mandatory, shifting the focus from traditional 1 versus 1 fights. Story-wise, while it tried to freshen things up with a new timeline, the stakes didn't reach the same highs as MK11, and some features like the crypt were gone, replaced by less satisfying modes like invasions. Another difference is polish. Mortal Kombat 1 launched with more bugs, player 1 advantage issues, and aggressive monetization, which turned off a chunk of the fan base. This probably contributed to its lower sales. 5 million copies after 2 years, compared to over 15 million for Mortal Kombat 11. Of course, MK11 was out longer and on more platforms, but the difference in excitement was clear. In the end, Mortal Kombat 11 stands out as the better, more complete experience. Its success, and Mortal Kombat's reputation, comes from years of pushing boundaries with story, gameplay, and presentation. But as budgets balloon and expectations rise, it's tougher for any sequel to please everyone. Mortal Kombat is a series where fans want it all. Great fighting mechanics, a big cinematic story, and a roster full of favorites. Balancing that is a huge challenge, and while Mortal Kombat 1 isn't a bad game, it's definitely a step down from what came before. Looking ahead, there's renewed interest thanks to the new Mortal Kombat 2 movie trailer, which seems like a big improvement over the last film. Whether the next game can recapture that old magic remains to be seen, but there's always hope that NetherRealm finds the right formula for both new players and veterans. If you enjoyed this video, hey, maybe drop a like. It really helps a lot and tells me you want more. Subscribe for day one gaming leaks and news, and check out these videos you probably missed. Trust me, they're worth it.